Hi, Alex. I've been thinking a lot lately about how different social etiquette can be in various English-speaking countries. It's so interesting to explore.
Oh, absolutely, Myra. I mean, we often assume that because they all speak English, the social norms are the same, but that's far from the truth.
Right. Let's start with the basics. When it comes to greetings, in the United States, a firm handshake is very common in formal settings. But in the UK, it can be a bit more reserved.
That's true. In the UK, a handshake is usually lighter and may be accompanied by a slight nod. And don't forget about Australia. They are quite laid back. A friendly good day with a smile and a wave can be a common greeting.
Exactly. And in Canada, it's a mix. In more formal business meetings, a handshake is standard. But among friends, a hug or a simple hi works too. Now, what about personal space?
Well, in the US, people generally like a bit more personal space compared to some European countries. But in the UK, the concept of personal space is also quite strong. You don't want to stand too close to someone in a queue, for example.
Yeah, that's a big no. No. In Australia, they are pretty relaxed about personal space in casual settings, but in more formal situations, they respect it. Canada is similar. In crowded public places, like subways in Toronto, people are more tolerant of close proximity. But in a business office, personal space is important.
It's amazing how these little differences can make a big impact. What about dining etiquette? That's always a fascinating area.
In the US, it's common to use the American style of eating, where you cut your food with your fork in your left hand and knife in your right, and then switch the fork to your right hand to eat. In the UK, the continental style is more prevalent, where you keep the fork in your left hand and the knife in your right while eating.
I've noticed that. And in Australia, they are more flexible. You can use either the American or continental style, and no one will bat an eye. In Canada, it's also a mix, but the continental style is quite popular, especially in more formal dining settings.
What about table manners in general? For example, is it okay to talk with your mouth full?
Definitely not in any of these countries. That's considered extremely rude. In the US, it's polite to keep your elbows off the table, although this rule is a bit more relaxed in casual dining. In the UK, elbows off the table is a more strictly adhered to rule.
In Australia, they also expect you to keep your elbows off the table and to chew with your mouth closed. And in Canada, good table manners include not reaching across the table for something. You should ask someone to pass it to you.
Right. Now let's talk about social gatherings. In the US, parties are often very lively. People may come and go as they please, and it's not uncommon to bring a hostess gift, like a bottle of wine or a bouquet of flowers.
In the UK, social gatherings are a bit more formal. You usually RSVP in advance, and if you're invited for dinner, it's polite to arrive on time, not too early or too late. A small gift, like chocolates, is also appreciated.
Australia has a more laid-back approach to social gatherings. Barbecues are very popular, and it's common to bring a plate of food to share. And in Canada, potluck parties are quite common, where everyone brings a dish. It's a great way to share different cuisines.
What about behavior in public places? In the US, it's important to be respectful of others in public. For example, you should keep your voice down in libraries and movie theaters.
In the UK, queuing is a big deal. People are very orderly when waiting in line, and cutting in line is considered extremely rude. In Australia, they also value queuing, and they expect people to be polite in public transport, like giving up your seat to the elderly or disabled.
Canada is similar. Queuing is important, and in public spaces like parks, people are expected to clean up after themselves. Littering is not tolerated.
Now, let's consider the use of language. In the US, the language can be more informal in many situations. But in the UK, there is a greater emphasis on using polite and proper language, especially in formal settings.
In Australia, the language is often colorful and informal, but they also know when to be more formal. In Canada, it depends on the region. In some parts, like Quebec, French is the primary language, and the etiquette around language use is different. But in English, speaking parts, polite language is important.
What about body language? In the US, a lot of body language is used to convey confidence, like standing up straight and making eye contact.
In the UK, body language is a bit more subdued. Making too much eye contact can be seen as aggressive. In Australia, A friendly smile and open body language are common, showing approachability.
In Canada, body language is a balance. They value eye contact, but not to the point of it being uncomfortable, and gestures should be appropriate for the context.
Another aspect is giving. In the US, gifts are often given on birthdays, Christmas, and other special occasions. The wrapping of the gift is also important.
In the UK, gifts are given for similar occasions, but the gift, wrapping, is usually more understated. In Australia, gifts are more about the thought than the cost, and they may be given in a more casual way.
In Canada, giving customs vary by region and culture. In some areas, gifts are expected to be more personalized, while in others, a simple token is enough.
What about communication in the digital age? In the US, email communication in a business context is usually quite direct, but still polite.
In the UK, business emails tend to be more formal and use proper salutations and closings. In Australia, emails can be a bit more laid back, but they still maintain a level of professionalism.
In Canada, business emails are a mix. They are polite and to the point, but also take into account the relationship between the sender and the recipient.
Social media also has its own set of etiquettes. In the US, people are more likely to share personal information on social media, but they still need to be careful about what they post.
In the UK, social media use is a bit more private. People may be more cautious about sharing too much personal content. In Australia, social media is used for both fun and business, and people are expected to be respectful in their comments.
In Canada, social media is a platform for communication, but there are also rules about respecting others' privacy and opinions.
It's incredible how much there is to learn about social etiquette in these English-speaking countries.
Absolutely, Alex. And it's important to be aware of these differences, especially if you're traveling or doing business in these countries.
True. It can make the difference between a smooth interaction and an awkward one.
Let's not forget about the concept of tipping. In the US, tipping is expected in many service-related industries like restaurants, taxis, and hair salons. Usually, it's around 15–20% of the bill.
In the UK, tipping is not as mandatory as in the US. In restaurants, a service charge may already be included in the bill. If not, a 10–15% tip is considered polite but not essential. In Australia, tipping is not the norm in most places. Although, some people may leave a small tip for exceptional service.
In Canada, tipping is similar to the US. In restaurants, 15–20% is common, and it's also expected in services like taxi rides and hotel bellhops.
What about dress codes? In the US, dress codes can vary greatly depending on the occasion. In a business setting in a big city like New York, a suit and tie for men and a business suit or dress for women are standard. But in more casual workplaces, like in some tech startups, casual dress is acceptable.
In the UK, business dress is generally more formal. Men usually wear suits and ties, and women wear business suits or dresses. In social events, the dress code can be more relaxed, but still smart, casual.
In Australia, work dress codes can be quite casual, especially in outdoor or creative industries. But for more formal business meetings or events, smart, casual to formal wear is required. In Canada, it depends on the region and the type of job. In financial centers like Toronto, formal business dress is common, while in some smaller towns or in certain industries, casual dress may be acceptable.
Now let's talk about how to handle introductions. In the US, when introducing two people, it's common to use the person's full name and a brief description of who they are, like, John, this is Sarah. Sarah works in marketing.
In the UK, introductions are a bit more formal. You might say, allow me to introduce Mr. Smith to you, Ms. Johnson. Titles are often used, especially in formal settings. In Australia, introductions are more laid back. You could simply say, hey, this is Dave. Dave's a mate of mine.
In Canada, introductions can be a mix. In formal situations, proper titles and full names are used, but among friends or in a more casual environment, first names are sufficient.
What about dealing with cultural diversity within these English-speaking countries? In the US, there's a huge melting pot of cultures, so people are generally more accustomed to different cultural practices. But it's still important to be respectful.
In the UK, with its history of immigration, there is also a lot of cultural diversity. People are expected to respect different cultures, and there are efforts to promote cultural understanding. In Australia, cultural diversity is celebrated, and there is an emphasis on inclusivity.
In Canada, which is known for its multiculturalism, respecting different cultures is a fundamental part of the society. There are many cultural festivals and events that bring different communities together.
Another important aspect is how to handle disagreements or conflicts. In the US, people may be more direct in expressing their opinions during a disagreement, but still in a respectful way.
In the UK, people tend to be more diplomatic when dealing with conflicts. They may try to find a middle ground without being too confrontational. In Australia, they are often straightforward, but in a friendly and laid-back manner.
In Canada, the approach to handling conflicts is often collaborative. People try to work together to find a solution that satisfies everyone involved.
It's really fascinating to see how social etiquette is so intertwined with the culture and history of each of these English-speaking countries.
Absolutely, Alex. And as we continue to interact with people from these countries, being aware of these etiquettes will only enhance our relationships.
True. Whether it's through travel, business, or online communication, understanding these social norms can make our experiences more enjoyable and successful.
Let's also consider the role of age in social etiquette. In the US, while respect for elders is important, the culture also values youth and independence. So the way you interact with someone older may not be as formal as in some other cultures.
In the UK, age is often respected, and there are certain courtesies extended to the elderly, like giving up your seat on public transport. In Australia, the attitude towards age is more egalitarian, but respect is still shown.
In Canada, respect for elders is ingrained in the culture, but at the same time, there is also a recognition of the value of different generations' perspectives.
What about family? Related social etiquettes. In the US, family gatherings can be very large and noisy, especially during holidays like Thanksgiving. There are traditions like saying grace before the meal.
In the UK, family gatherings are often more sedate. There may be a formal seating arrangement, and conversations are usually more polite. In Australia, family barbecues are a popular way to get together, and it's a more relaxed affair.
In Canada, family traditions vary depending on the cultural background of the family. Some families may have European-style traditions, while others may have indigenous-influenced practices.
Another interesting area is how to handle invitations. In the US, if you receive an invitation, it's polite to respond as soon as possible. And if you decline, it's good to give a reason.
In the UK, prompt responses to invitations are also expected. It's considered rude to leave an invitation unanswered. In Australia, they are more flexible, but still appreciate a timely response.
In Canada, the same applies. Responding to invitations in a timely manner shows respect for the host.
It's clear that social etiquette in English-speaking countries is a complex and diverse topic. There's so much to learn and understand.
Yes, and it's an ongoing process. As cultures evolve, so do the social etiquettes. We need to keep up with these changes.
Absolutely. Whether it's the way we greet someone, the way we behave at a party, or how we communicate online, social etiquette plays a crucial role in our interactions.
Let's hope that by sharing this knowledge, more people will be able to navigate social situations in English, speaking countries with ease and confidence.
Agreed. It can really open up a world of opportunities and positive experiences.